So have you ever felt like money's just, I don't know, playing hide and seek with you?
Uh-huh.
Like you're doing all the things you're supposed to, working hard, trying to save,
Yeah.
but real wealth, it feels like this exclusive party you just didn't get invited to.
Oh, absolutely. That feeling is incredibly common. You kind of look around and it seems like other people have cracked some code, right? That
Well,
you're thinking, what am I missing here? What's the secret?
right. And, digging into the sources we've gathered, it seems like it might not just be about like how much you earn. There might be these other things,
Mm-hmm.
hidden barriers, maybe mental blocks, or
Yeah.
getting stuck in debt loops, or even just missing opportunities that are right there.
Yeah, and what's really interesting is how this material frames it. It's less about uh, you not trying hard enough and more about spotting these specific hurdles,
Okay.
these roadblocks that once you see them, you can actually start to dismantle, to kind of unlock things.
Okay, so let's do that. Let's unpack this stuff together. Our mission, really, for this deep dive is to get into these sources, pull out the really key insights, and figure out how you can make money start working for you, not against you.
Mm-hmm. Spot the blockages, find the breakthroughs.
Yeah, exactly. It's about finding what's stopping that flow and then, finding ways to push through.
And the material does lay out a kind of a roadmap. It starts, interestingly, with the internal stuff,
Right.
the barriers maybe we put up ourselves, and then moves outward to like practical strategies.
Okay, so following that roadmap, where do the sources say we should start? You mentioned internal stuff.
Yeah, the very first piece is confronting those potential mental barriers.
Hmm.
Like, is your own mindset actually holding you back without you realizing it?
Hmm. Okay, tell me more about that.
Well, they call them money blocks. These are often unconscious beliefs or even fears about money that kind of cap your potential. And they're not just vague feelings the sources explain. They can be specific things, like maybe deep down you believe money's kind of dirty, or you feel like you don't really deserve wealth,
Oh, interesting.
or maybe you fear the responsibility that comes with it, or just have this story you tell yourself like, oh, I'm just not good with money.
Wow.
And the sources really hammer this home, recognizing those specific thought patterns. That's step one. That's the key to unlocking your potential to build wealth.
Okay, so it's not just feeling broke, it's finding the belief underneath it all. How do they suggest you even, spot those hidden beliefs? They sound pretty hidden.
Yeah, they suggest some pretty simple self-reflection, actually, like just paying attention to the automatic thoughts you have when you think about earning money or saving it or spending it.
Yeah.
And then asking yourself, wait, where did that thought come from? Often it's, stuff from childhood, messages you picked up without even realizing it.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
If you fundamentally believe like wealth is bad or just not for you, you're probably going to act in ways that make that true, even if you don't mean to. Okay, so mindset first. What's the next big hurdle the sources point to?
Debt. They don't mince words here. One source literally calls debt a dream killer.
Oof. Yeah, that hits home. I think anyone who's felt buried under bills or, student loans can relate to that.
Totally. But importantly, they don't just leave you there feeling hopeless.
Yeah.
They promise proven strategies to break free, to take back control and start building actual wealth. They get practical.
Okay, like what kind of strategies?
Well, they talk about prioritizing, like the debt avalanche method, tackling the high interest debt first to save money in the long run.
Right. Mathematically, that makes sense.
Or there's the debt snowball. You
Yeah.
focus on paying off the smallest debts first, regardless of interest rate.
Ah, for the psychological wins, like building momentum.
Exactly. You get those quick victories. It keeps you motivated. The sources basically say pick the method that fits your personality best, the one you'll actually stick with.
Right. Consistency matters there, too.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're clearing the path. Tackling mindset, escaping the debt trap, that feels foundational. Once that groundwork's done, how do the sources suggest you actually start, increasing the flow, getting more money coming in?
Yeah.
They mentioned passive income streams.
Yes, definitely. And they highlight this one concept they call the snowball effect, but
That's right.
specifically for dividends, building a dividend snowball.
Dividend snowball. Okay, break that down.
So the basic idea is you invest in things that pay you just for owning them, like certain stocks that pay dividends, right? You get these small cash payments regularly.
Okay.
But here's the crucial bit. You immediately reinvest those dividends. You use that cash to buy more shares of that stock, or maybe other dividend stocks.
Ah, okay. So the money it makes
Yeah.
buys more the thing that makes the money.
Precisely. So next time, you own more shares, which means you get a slightly bigger dividend payment, which then lets you buy even more shares. It starts small, but it compounds. It grows over time like a snowball rolling downhill, getting bigger and bigger, creating this income stream without you actively having to do more work for it.
I see. So the power isn't just getting the dividends, it's that automatic reinvestment loop.
That's the engine of it, yeah. The sources really stress that consistency in reinvesting is what gives it its long-term power.
Okay, but what if someone's thinking, great, but I don't have a big pile of cash to start buying dividend stocks right now?
Yeah, good question. And that's covered too. The sources also talk about using what you already have, like your time, your skills, maybe even stuff you own.
Okay.
There's one piece called How I Turned My Free Time into an Income Stream. It gives some really concrete ideas.
Like what?
Things like, using skills you have for freelancing. Can you write, code, design things, offer that online, or maybe turn a hobby into a side gig? Selling crafts you make, maybe doing photography, teaching guitar.
Right, things people already enjoy doing.
Exactly. And another angle is leveraging assets you already own but maybe don't use all the time. Like, could you rent out a spare room? Or your car when you're not using it? Even tools, maybe.
Huh. That's actually really empowering. It shifts the focus. It's not about needing some big break, but about finding potential in your life right now.
Yeah, it suggests you can start building that momentum with what you've got. You don't have to wait.
Okay, interesting. What else do the sources get into for building wealth? Any other big areas?
Real estate investing comes up, but specifically framed for beginners.
Okay. That can feel intimidating.
Totally. So this material tries to cut through that. It promises no jargon, just facts, introducing the basics of using property to build wealth over the long term.
What are the key basics they highlight?
Well, they explain concepts like cash flow really clearly, making sure the money coming in from rent is consistently more than what goes out for the mortgage, taxes, insurance, upkeep, all that.
Right. So the property pays for itself and hopefully gives you some extra each month.
Exactly. They emphasize that making money in real estate is often about buying smart in the first place, understanding the local market, managing the property well. It's not just banking on the price going up.
That makes sense. Focus on the cash flow. Seems more tangible. Okay, now, the sources also included something quite different, right? A cautionary tale.
Oh, yeah.
The Wolf of Wall Street.
Right.
It's included as like a rich read and a real wealth example, but the whole point is it's a massive warning sign.
A warning about what, specifically?
Well, the big takeaway is how, unchecked ambition, sheer greed, and just completely ignoring ethics, how that can turn finance into this wild circus, as they put it.
Yeah.
The sources detail how that whole empire was basically built on hype, manipulating people, outright fraud, like those pump and dump stock schemes, until, inevitably it all came crashing down.
So why include that story when we're talking about building wealth? Seems counterintuitive.
Because it serves as this really powerful kind of visceral reminder of that old saying, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Right.
It just hammers home the potential personal cost, financial cost of chasing those super short-term gains if it means compromising your integrity. The recommendation from that source is basically scrutinize opportunities. Ask yourself, is this built on real value or is it just hype and smoke and mirrors?
Yeah, build on solid ground ethically.
Exactly. It really grounds the whole idea of building wealth in ethics and reality.
That's a really important counterpoint to all the, get-rich-quick stuff you see online.
Yeah.
It's like watching a financial car crash in slow motion, as one source put it. Learn what not to do.
Precisely. It adds that layer of realism. And scattered through the sources, there are other little nuggets, too, like the anecdote about Warren Buffett buying his first stock when he was just 11 years old.
11. Wow. That really hits home the point about starting early, doesn't it?
It really does.
And I guess consistency, too. It almost makes you think, if an 11-year-old could figure out how to buy stocks back then.
Yeah.
Maybe putting down the game controller for an hour and doing some research isn't so intimidating after all.
Exactly. It underscores that you can start, even if you feel like you don't know much or don't have much money. And it highlights just how powerful time is when it comes to compounding growth.
Yeah. Then the sources use some powerful analogies to kind of tie it all together, right?
Towards the end, yeah.
There's that one about the Fitbit, every step towards freedom.
Yes, I like that one. It connects physical progress, like tracking your steps, to financial progress in a way that feels really tangible.
How so?
Well, every little action you take, saving that extra bit of cash, paying down a little more debt, learning about one new investment type, setting up an automatic transfer.
Okay.
Each one is like another step recorded on your Fitbit. They might feel small individually, but when you do them consistently, day after day, you look back and see how far you've actually come.
Ah, I see. And those steps add up to.
To freedom, as the sources define it. Freedom to control your own time, freedom to make choices based on what you want to do, not just what you have to do because of money pressures, living life on your terms.
That's a really motivating way to look at it.
Yeah.
It's not about waiting for some huge windfall or, I don't know, permission from someone.
Yep.
It's just about those consistent small steps forward. And then there's that other analogy, the final one that really stuck with me.
The avocado.
Yes, waiting for the right time to start building wealth is like waiting for an avocado to be perfectly ripe.
So yeah, good luck with that.
Exactly. It's like rock hard 1 minute and then suddenly you missed it. It's brown mush.
Precisely the point. The message is crystal clear. That perfect moment to start. It's a myth. It doesn't exist.
So just start.
Start. Just start. Do something. Take that first tiny step. Maybe it's opening a high-yield savings account. Maybe it's reading one article about the debt snowball method, researching one dividend stock, identifying one skill you have that you could maybe freelance. Just begin. Don't wait for the market to be perfect or your salary to be perfect or anything else.
Because, as one source kind of bluntly put it, your future self is either going to thank you for starting today or be pretty annoyed, maybe blaming you for not starting sooner. You really don't want that awkward confrontation with future you.
Definitely not. It's a good motivator to keep in mind. So yeah, the sources we dove into, they really cover a lot of ground.
We do.
From those internal mindset blocks to external traps like debt, practical ways to grow income like passive streams or using your free time, foundational stuff like beginner real estate, and those crucial warnings like the Wolf of Wall Street.
And through it all, they keep coming back to a few core ideas, don't they?
Yeah.
Understand what might be holding you back, inside and out. Learn the practical ways money can actually work for you. Avoid those tempting shortcuts that lack integrity. And, maybe most importantly, just start moving.
It really does circle back to that Fitbit idea. Every small step done consistently adds up. It builds towards having more control, more choices, building the life you actually want.
The overwhelming feeling I get from all this material is that the biggest hurdle is just inertia, just not starting.
That's exactly it. The single most powerful thing you can do is just decide to begin, no matter how small that first step feels.
So if building wealth, building that financial freedom, really is this journey of step-by-step progress, like adding steps on that Fitbit, gaining control, gaining choices, what's the very first step you listening need to take today?
Yeah.
Right now, even if it feels tiny, what's that one thing